Hi there, I hope you're doing well. This is our ninth lesson in our English course, and with my right. Okay, so let's check the presentations out. This is our ninth lesson, so I'm going to explain you what the contents are. So, in this ninth lesson, we're going to see how to ask questions using do, the auxiliary verbs do, did, will, would, might, may. We're going to have some questions with the verb to be and to have. We're going to have the WH questions, right? This one that is here. How do we use WH questions plus how, which is another way to ask questions. There is, there are, there was, there were. We're going to have how to ask questions with there is and there are. The same with there was and there were. And finally, how would be the same question with there will be and yes. Finally, we'll have the test of the ninth lesson. Got it? So let's check it. And here, let me tell you something that we're gonna use the questions by using the auxiliary verb do or does, right? And this goes for the third person. The third person is the one that we're gonna be using with do or does, right? With does, sorry. But with do, we're gonna use the other ones. We're gonna use I, you, we, they. And with does, as I told you, with does, we're gonna use he, she, and it. Okay, so let's see what's next. So if I want to say you play, this one, this is a statement. It's positive, no? It's a statement that is positive. But if I want to convert, to switch this into a question, I would say, do you play? Do you play? Right? Which is a question. So there are two common mistakes my students make when asking questions. So the first one is that they don't use the do, right? The do is obligatory or does, depend in the case, right? So, and the second one is that they write it this way. But what about the question mark? They don't write it, right? So you gotta write the question mark, you gotta write the auxiliary verb, which is do for the present. Okay. Okay, there is an important note here. If you want to translate the do in the questions, it does not have translation. It doesn't have translation. Literally, we can see it as if it was a part of the question mark that is open in Spanish. So this, in certain way, would be equal to this. Okay, so that is a way that I have invented to explain this to my students. Okay, so let's see the other side. So here we have he, she, or it. With he, she, or it, we use does at the beginning, right? So following the same dynamic of the simple present, we say she plays, which is a statement. She plays, right? A positive statement. Okay, I'm sorry for being so redundant in some cases, but okay. So, but if I want to convert this into a question, what I would say is that does she play? Does she play? Does she play? So it means that I'm asking the question. Remember that does is for he, is for she, is for it, right? And do is for the other ones, right? Does it have translation, traducción? Does it have translation? No, it doesn't have any translation, right? It could be equals to the open question mark. Does she play? And you don't write yes, okay? Okay. So next, we're gonna see all the examples and repeat it, and we're gonna repeat them out loud, okay? So, how would you say ellos juegan? Ellos juegan, how would you say that? You say, do they play? Do they play? Do they play? And question mark, remember, do and question mark. Ellos juegan, right? Ella sopla, how would you say that? Does, because it's she. Does she play? Does she blow? Sorry. Does she blow? Does she blow? All right. So, how would you say? Él toca guitarra. Él toca guitarra. How would you say? Does he play guitar? Does he play guitar? That's how would you say? How would you say? Se columpea. Sorry for my Spanish in this case. I don't know how to say this. But does she swing? Does she swing? Okay, this is columpiarse. Okay, so, or how would you say? Ella juega. How would you say that? Does she play? Does she play? Oh, right. So let's check the other one. So the other one, we have more examples now. So look, in the affirmative, in the affirmative case statement, we say they talk, but if you want to convert this into a question, pregunta, into a question, you say, do they talk? Do they talk? So this would be the question, right? So if you say you go to the church, this is the statement, but in this case, what I would do to convert this statement into a question would be to basically write do before, right? So do you go to the church? You go to the church? Come on, do it with me, please. Do you go to the church? You go to the church? Remember the question mark at the end. There is not question mark at the beginning, right? There is not question mark at the beginning. It's unuseful. Okay, so let's go with the next one. The next one is she talks. She talks, which is with an S this at the end, right? So if I say, does she talk? Does she talk? That would be the question. So I use does. Remember, does for he, for she, for it, and do for the others. The others are going to be I, you, we, they, right? Does she go to the church? And how would you say, if you know that orar is pray, repeat after me, please. Pray, pray. So how would you say el hora in question, en pregunta? How would you say that in question? So you say, does he pray? Does he pray? That's how would you say. Okay. So let's see what's next. Okay, so we have a note, a reminder here. Remember that we have already seen in simple present, we add the S, right? The S to the verb. When you find he, she, or it, right, you're going to use S, right? But in the question, this S is not in the verb because it's unnecessary. So with the fact that we have used does, with the fact that we use that, does, in the verb is more than enough, right? Is more than enough. So is fair enough. I would say is fair enough. Okay, so let's see. It's fair enough. Enough, not sufficient. So we have some exercises here. So it's really important that you control how to translate each one of these questions. So we have we're gonna cover the statements with your hands. If you can cover the statements with the hands, and then you can translate them. You can do it in positive, which is a statement. You can do it in negative, and also you can do it in the one that we're doing right now, which is the question mark. So we have you take, you take. So how would you say this in question? Do you take? Do you take? So that would be, do you take? So let's try with the next one. We see. How would you see? How would you say this in question? Do you see? Do we see? Right? Do we see? Do we see? You have. You say. How would you say this in question? Do you say? You say. Do you say? Let's see the next one. She comes. How would it be in the question form? It would be does she come? Does she come? Okay, they go. They go. Let's see the other one. They go. So how would it be in the case of questions? Do they go? Do they go? I send. How would it be in this case? Do I send? Normally questions with the I are uncommon. They are not commonly seen, but okay. So let's try to translate this older one. Does she go? Does she go? How would it be that in Spanish? How would that be in Spanish? Sorry. So that would be ella va ella, right? Ella va in questions, no? So this other one, vamos nosotros. How can you say that in question? Do we go? Do I make? Do I make? What is that in Spanish? Yo hago, hago yo hago, right? Does she come? Viene ella. You can pause the video and you can do it if you want, right? Viene ella, does she come? Does she send? Does she send? Ella envía, right? Toman ellas, ellos. Do they take? Do they take? Does he go? Does he go? Would be él va. Va él, right? In question, no? Obviously, all of these are questions from what I know. Ponen usted, ustedes, so would be, do you put? Do you put? Right? Do I say? What do I translate with this one? Do I say that in Spanish would be, digo yo digo, mantiene usted, do you keep? Do you keep? Remember the intonation. The intonation is important. Do you keep? You keep? Do you keep? Do you keep? What's your name? What's your name? Na 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 na. So you gotta be using all the time the intonation. You got it. Okay, so do you keep? Does he let? Does he let? Let is permitting something. So does he let? So él permite, él deja. Do they put? Ponen ellas, ponen ellos. Do we give? Nosotros damos. Damos nosotras, nos damos nosotros. In question, no? Do we give? And this one, consiguen ellas, ellos, would be, in this case, do they get? Do they get? Okay. So, let's see. So give examples. So in this case, try to give examples. How would you say, ella toma fotos? Does she take photos? Does she take photos? Photos. Ella se ducha. Take a shower. Does she take a shower? Utilizamos el does, right? Does she take a shower? She take a shower. Ella besa. You know that besar is kiss. Kiss, right? Kiss. So you say, does she kiss? Does she kiss? Okay. A question for this. ¿Cómo diría? How would you say, ¿ves la flor? ¿Tú ves la flor? So do you see? I don't know if that is a flower, but oh, sorry. Do you see the flower? Do you see the flower? You see the flower? How would you say, él va al museo, al estadio? Does he go to the stadium? Stadium. Okay. Okay. How would you say, ellos caminan? Do they walk? Do they walk? Sorry. I'm trying to be fast, right? They walk. Él envía un mensaje. Does he send a message? Okay. Él ahorra. Ahorrar is save. Does he save? You see? Does he save money? Does he save money? Okay. So I think that you already understood the concept. Now we are gonna see the interrogative way we did, right? We're gonna see the questions we did. So you did in past, no? So did is used in past, right? Do was or does was for present. But did is for past. You got it? Okay. So you did. Usted hizo. So the way that you're going to convert this is even easier because you just simply write did and you put the natural way of the verb, right? So here we have you did, and what you do to convert this into question, you just write did first, you, and you write do. Why don't we write did? Why don't we write did? It's simple, because I have already converted all these questions into past. So I say, did you do? Right? The do is automatically converted into past. Okay. So let's try using the logic and the reasoning with the next one. So we start first, we're going to start with did. Did. We, and the singular natural form of made is going to be make. Did we make, and what did I miss? The question mark. Question mark at the end. Okay, let's check it out. Did we make? You got. How would it be in this case? So I'm going to write this one, and you're going to do the other. So, did, all the time we start with did. That is why did is past, right? So, did you, and what is the natural form of got? It's get. You get? Did you get? So, you said, usted dijo, right? So, how would it be in this case? Did you say? Did you say? We took. How would it be in this case? So I'm gonna do it. Did we take? Did we take? He came, which is the past of come, right? So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Did he come? Did he come? So that's how would it be. how it would be. So let's check it. Okay, we got it. Do these other ones. So how would you say él envió? He sent. And in question, it would be, did he send? That's all, right? I saw. Yo vi. Did I see? Okay. Okay, so we have new words. Sorry for that. So remember to take notes on the different vocabulary that I'm providing you, because sooner or late you are gonna use it. Sooner or late you can use it. Who knows? So so this allows you to take advantage of any opportunity to study, right? Remember, the thought words in this course are puntual, but you gotta manage them, you gotta know them perfectly, right? So we're just missing these 2 units. So let's try. Meeting, or you can say meeting, meeting or meeting. Quiet, England, nation, lift, also known as elevator. Care, month, week. Okay, so let's see. So we have the opposite words, which is question. You say question. Answer. So question is the opposite of answer. We have hard, and soft. This is a tool. The tool is hard, and this is the feather. The feather is soft. Hard is the opposite of soft. So let's try the other one. Before and after. Before and after. So before is the opposite of after. Okay. How to ask questions using will, using would, may, and might. How can you ask questions using would? How can you ask questions using will, would, may, and might? It's simple because you use will, would, may, and might in the same way. So if I say I will play video games, which is a future sentence, you're going to see, will I play video games tomorrow? Will I play video games tomorrow? So obviously you're gonna write the question mark at the end because it indicates that it's a question. Okay, well, let's see it. So here we have with will. With will, I will get. Will I get? This is a mind exercise you can do. This is a mental exercise you can do. I will get, will I get? We will give. Will we give? Will we give? It's a good question. I will see. Will I see? They will send. Question, will they send? You will make. Will you make? He will keep. Will he keep? You will say. Will you say? They will come. Will they come? They would say. Okay, so this one is with would, right? They would say. Would they say? He would come. Would he come? They would let. Would they let? You would give. Would you give? They would see. Would they see? He would make. Would he make? Okay. So let's see the other one. So here we have examples with may and might, right? So remember that this is a poder, podría, right? So let's try the other ones. So remember, this is for future. Sorry for that. This is for future, right? So indicating an answer in future, which is which is 50% of probability. It has just 50% of probability, right? Not the 100, because the 100 is for going to. Going to is for the 100% of probability, right? Okay, so up to this point, you're supposed to be able to understand every single thing that I say, or maybe most of it. It's normal, you don't comprehend, you don't figure everything out. It's completely normal, just this is part of the process. But I'm basically imparting this class, the whole class in English, in order to make you be used to these kind of interactions you have, okay? So would. So they would say, would they say? This is the particle diría, right? Okay, ellos dirían ellos, would they say the same? Él vendría, vendría él, would he come, etc. Okay. All right, so here we have may and might. She may send. May she send? May she send? This is the question. They may see. Ellos pueden ver. May they see? May they see? Pueden ver ellos. You may give. May you give? I may get. May I get? We may come. Podemos venir. Nosotros podemos venir. Podemos venir. May we come? They may take. They may take. May they take? You may put. May you put? I may say. May I say? You may keep. May you keep? So the same. It's just the same. It's just the same. Might. He might go. Might he go? Might he go? They might give. Might they give? I might see. Might I see? Might I see? Might I see? Okay, so let's see what's next. So we have other questions that are designed just for the verb to be and the verb to have, right? So previously we have observed questions using do, does, which is present, right? This is going to be present. Past, that is did. The past did. Future, which is will, right? Would be like future and past at the same time, something like that. Okay, something like that. I will enclose in both circles. Okay, so may, which is present, poder, and might, which is the future of may, etc. Even though we have this dynamic with these ones, with the verbs to be and to have, in my classes, I say that these verbs are so yellows, celosos, right? They are so yellows, right? And they have their own negation. They have their own negative forms. That's why they don't need other verb to negate themselves, to make themselves negative, right? To get themselves negative. So that is why we say that these verbs are special. They are so special, but maybe this is something that you don't comprehend at all. So no worries, because it is so easy, right? It's so easy to understand. So here we have with the verb to be. The verb to be, he is run. Él está equivocado. Is he run? Is he run? He is getting. Is he getting? Right? They are sending. Are they sending? You just switch the order, right? Just change the order. Let me show you how. Okay, so look. This was here. For questions, it would be here, and this will be here, right? So you switch them, right? Is getting. Is he getting? I switch. This here, the verb to be is just switched. Okay, so you're keeping. Are you keeping? Are you keeping? You switch the verb, right? Verb to be first. Are you keeping? He is making. Is he making? Is he making? We're going. Are we going? They're putting. Are they putting? Right? Those are the questions. So you just switch them. Got it? Okay. So let's see. Give examples. So mistakes to avoid. Okay, give me examples. So look, how would you say él está escribiendo? He is writing. And in question, this is positive statement. This is statement. It's positive, by the way. ¿Está escribiendo él? Is he writing? And the question mark. Eso está correcto. That is right. ¿Está eso correcto? In question, how would it be? Is that right? Is that right? Is that right? Make this day great. How would it be in this case? Nosotros leemos un bello mensaje. We read, okay, sorry, but that is not with the verb to be, sorry. In this case, nosotros estamos leyendo un bello mensaje. So how would it be in that case? We are reading a message. No le pongamos bello. How would you do in question case? Are we reading the message? Are we reading the message? A message, okay. And so on. So try to ask questions with these two ones. And let's try to translate it. Él está cocinando. How would it be that? That in questions. How would it be in that case? You say, él está cocinando, he's cooking. And in question, is he cooking? Let's see the other one. Ella está leyendo. She is reading. Is she reading? En pregunta, right? So is he cooking? ¿Está cocinando él? Is she reading? ¿Está leyendo ella? Okay. Okay, so now let's go and let's try to match the image and the sentences. So it's used to trees putting me to sleep at night. It's used to the trees putting me to sleep at night. So what is this case? So in this case, we would have these ones, right? How do you put a price on this house? How do you put a price on this house? How do you put a price on this house? What would be in this case? Put. Okay. And this, I want you to put money into this little box during Lent. This one, right? Okay, it was really easy. They were like straight. in straight direction, but just like to change, because most of the times they are like crossed, no? So in this case, it's not. All right, so exercise. So before we go into these exercises, try to translate, to remember this, right? So remember that there are two ways to ask questions in English. So the first one in present, right? By using do or does. The other one in the present by using the verb to be, which is with some gerund way. So remember this and review it constantly to avoid confusions, right? Because we have already covered different units. So for these sentences, you'll have to translate them, right? But before you have to ask questions with this, right? So he's going. How would it be in this case? He is going. In question, is he going? Is he going? Is that okay? No, it's not okay. Have to write a question mark. They are sending. Are they sending? Okay. Now, translate them. So, he's going, él está yendo. Is he going? Él está yendo? In question, right? They are sending. Ellos están enviando. Are they sending? Ellos están enviando. So you see that in Spanish, you just change the intonation. That's some of the things that I explained to my students, the ones that are learning Spanish, because I also in person all the classes in Spanish for non-native Spanish speakers, right? So for the foreign speakers. Okay, so we have some interrogative words. Okay, so we have these ones here. Let's check it. Who? So it means quién, quiénes for singular and plural, right? So who is making that noise? Who is making that noise? Who said that? Who said that? Who are you? Who are you? Who is she? Who is that man? Who is that man? Who are those women? Who are those men? Okay. So in question. Okay. Whom is used with a preposition, right? So if you include the preposition to who, it will turn into whom, right? With whom, with whom. So whom is for prepositions. With whom are you working? To whom? To whom are you writing? For whom? For whom is that letter? Okay, so which is used when there are different options, right? So there are many options in the list. But what is, it means also cuál, cuáles, lo cual, y cuál, la cual, los cuales. But is different because when there are not many options to choose, you can ask questions using what. For example, if I say, what is your name? I am not telling you, your name is Juan, Matias, Ricardo, Leon. So Leo, Juliana, etc. I'm just giving you a random number of possibilities you can use. But with which, that's completely different because with which I normally give you options and I am pointing the options out. I say, which is your room? There are many rooms. Which is my plate? Many plates, many options in the same, which is your brother? It's not something abstract, it's something you're seeing. You can choose. This one, I take this one. Which is your brother? Which is your book? Which is your house? Which are your books? Which is the road to Lima? Which are your shoes? Okay, so as in many texts, you will find that the which is combined with one or ones. It is translated something like ¿cuál de esos? No? So when I say which ones of those are the English books, I mean ¿cuál de esos son los libros de inglés? In other terms, we can say it's basically the same, but it's not, because once is more specific. So we have where, that means donde, and is to indicate places, right? So where is my jacket? Where's my jacket? Where is my jacket? Where is my son? Where are you? Where are you? Where is my hat? Where is your house? Where is my money? Where are my parents? Where is the salt? Where is my suitcase? Suitcase, not suitcase, right? So suitcase. So let's try to ask questions with this. ¿Dónde está el cuadrado? El cuadrado squared, squared. So you say, where is squared? ¿Dónde estás tú? Where are you? ¿Dónde está mi tiquete? Where is my ticket? Okay. So we have when, and when is for time. When means when we refer this word to time. So when do you go to Canada? Cuando fuiste a Canadá? When may I go? When will you come to Uruguay? When will he come to Paris? Okay, so we use it for time. When will we meet? When is your birthday? When do you have classes? For time, right? So how would you say, ¿cuándo es el partido de baloncesto? Or ¿cuándo es el juego de baloncesto? The basketball game. So when is the basketball game? When is the basketball game? ¿Cuándo es la puesta del sol? When is the sunset? The sunset. ¿Cuándo es hora? When it's time. When it's time. Okay. So we have several examples you can afford with this. Okay, what means que, but in some cases it's not que. It just means cuál. For example, when I ask your name, I say, what is your name? So cuál es tu nombre? But in English we just say what. I don't know why. I don't know why we do it in Spanish, etc. But it just happens. Okay, so what are you doing? What are you doing? What is this? What is this? What do you say? What are you thinking? What does he play? What city is that? Is that what you said? Is that what you said? What is the time? What time is it? There are two ways to ask the hour now. What is the time? That basically this one is not commonly used, right? This one is not commonly used. The most common is this one, right? Okay. So we have some examples. What's your story? How would you say, ¿qué estás leyendo? What are you reading? What are you reading? What time is it? So there are some words that can be used to express ourselves better, right? So exaggerating and highlighting the characteristics of something or somebody, we are gonna use water. Do it with me, please. Water. So when I say water, I mean something like extraordinary, something like that caused me a certain admiration, exclamation, right? So, okay, so we say, what a big house. What a big house. What a big house. Qué casa tan grande, no? I am exaggerating something. These are known in Spanish as frases admirativas, right? What an intelligent woman. Qué mujer tan inteligente. What an intelligent woman. What a beautiful day. Qué bello día. What a good idea. What a good idea. Qué buena idea. What a small building. Okay. Okay. We use why to mean por qué. So it means, it refers to explanations, right? They are normally answered, these questions are normally answered with because. Because is the answer. Why is a question. Why, pregunta, question, because is the answer. Respuesta. Why do you go there? Because I want it. Porque yo quería. Because I want it. Why are you in bed? Porque estás en la cama. Why do you study English? Because I want to gain more opportunities. Porque quiero ganar más oportunidades. Why do you do that? Why are you so smart? Why are you so smart? Why did she leave the room? So the exercise is match questions with the answer. So come on, let's try to do this. Why do you go there? Because my boss sent me. Why is she in the hospital? Right. Because she is sick. To be in the hospital is to be hospitalized. Why did he do that? Because he didn't stand it. No lo soportaba, ¿no? So let's continue. Why is the car so dirty? Because I was driving it. Because I was driving it. Okay. Okay. Why? Okay, so look at the answers. Okay. How means cómo. There are other combinations that are so simple, but now we're going to focus in the main, which is how as cómo. How are you? How are you? How is your father? How is your father? How is that done? How do you get that money there? How do you get that money there? How is your grandmother? So anyways, how is cómo, but when you ask about the age, the age, or for some measures of something, you have to use change, you have to be changing the meaning, right? Por el de qué, right? How long is that road? ¿Qué largo tiene ese camino? How tall are you? ¿Qué altura tiene usted? How old are you? ¿Qué edad tiene usted? How old is your mother? ¿Qué edad tiene su madre? How old is your daughter? Okay. Okay. So we have whose. Whose means de quién, de quiénes, right? Who is that wallet? So we say, whose is that wallet? Whose is that jacket? Whose is this pencil? Whose is that pen? Whose are those colors? Okay. Let's go with the next one. There is, there are, which means I. There is for singular. There are is for plural, right? So there are two different connotations. One refers to the singular, which is there is, the other to the plural, which is there are, right? So repeat after me. There is, there is, there is, there are, there are. There is plural, there are singular. Sorry, there is singular, there are plural. So there is bread on the table. Hay un pan sobre la mesa. There is water in the bath. There are 4 boys here. There is no work for me. There is no food for him. There are 2 letters for you. There is no water. Okay. We have questions. How can I ask questions? So I'm gonna switch them. You just switch them. Instead of saying there is, you say is there, is there. Instead of saying there are, you say are there, are there. So is there a toy for my son? Is there a toy for my son? Are there any grapes for Christmas? Is there any science book in his house? Are there any books on the desk? Is there a pen in your bag? Okay, so you just switch them. Okay, let's go with the next. So try to give examples. How would you say hay juguetes en la canasta, in the basket, en la canasta? So you say, are there toys in the basket? So question mark. How would you say, hay una mujer embarazada? Embarazada, pregnant. So is there, singular, is there any pregnant woman? Is there any pregnant woman? Singular. So, ¿hay un medicamento para ella? For her. Medicament for her. Is there a medicament for her? ¿Hay globos? Balloons. Globos. Are there balloons? Okay. And that's how it is, right? Okay, so now let's go with the next. There was, there were. There was. So remember that we were seeing there is and there are, right? So they are like, there is the past of, so there was in the past of there is. And there were is the past of there are, right? Había, habían. O hubo, ¿no? So let's try. So there was, there were. Hubo o había in singular, hubo había in plural. So there was a war in Russia. There was a war in Russia. There was a gift for you. There was no news for you. There were different there were different rock concerts in your city. There were not any pretty girls in that place. There were not many handsome guys there. Okay. That is for past. So how can I ask questions with there was and there were the same? I switch them. So you say, was there, were there, right? So you just switch was by there and there by was. The same with there and where, right? So was there a war in Ukraine? ¿Hubo una guerra en Ucrania? Was there a letter for you? ¿Hubo una carta para ti? Was there no sugar? Okay, so this is the fact, guys. You gotta be committed to your process because I'm not gonna be here like trying to be pushing you all of the time, right? So give examples. Habían papas. En pregunta, ¿cómo sería? How would it be? Were there potatoes? Okay. So fresas in English is strawberries. Strawberries. So fresa, strawberry. And in plural, yes, right? Okay. So, ¿hubo fresas en la fiesta? Were there strawberries in the party? ¿Hubo fuego? Is there, hay fuego in present? Is there fire? So, ¿hay una naranja en el árbol? Is there an orange in the tree? Something like that. Okay. So, the difference between there was not, there were not, and there was not, and there were not. We use this structure, which is not a, when we use the adverb to negate something, right? And then you put the verb was, right? For example, Here we have, there was not enough time. No había suficiente tiempo. Or there was not a single person in the room. No había ni una sola persona en la habitación. So there was not, in this structure, we use not as an adjective, right? Of negation. So, for example, there was no milk in the fridge. No había leche en la nevera. There was no chair available. So there was no chair available. This is an adjective. An adjective is something that describes something, okay? So both structures are correct if they are used in different contexts. So basically the fact that you are between not and no depends on the emphasis you want to give to your statement. So in general, we use not when we want to emphasize the negation of this verb, right? But no is when you don't want to emphasize. So it's important to highlight that not is an adjective. And by the way, it basically fits in number with the substantive, right? Sustantivo. So that is noun, right? That it modifies. So by the way, in a plural sentence is used no without the T at the end, right? So there were no cars in the parking lot. There were no students in the classroom. Okay. So there was not enough time. No había suficiente tiempo. There was not a single person in the room. There was no milk in the fridge. There was no chair available. So there will be is for future, right? So there will be is translated as habrá or habrán. So I would say there will be a war in Asia. Habrá una guerra en Asia. There will be a war in Asia. There will be work for you this summer. Habrá trabajo para ti este verano. There will be an agreement between Colombia and Argentina. Habrá un acuerdo entre Colombia y Argentina, which is a fake news. Obviously, there will be money in that business. Okay. Okay, yes versus if, right? So yes means sí, to give a statement that is positive and a response that is positive, right? But if is just to propose a condition, right? So una traducción cercana podría ser en caso de, right? If, en caso de. No es exacta, but it's useful to form this idea. So if, do it. If usted quiere hacerse una idea, look at if, si usted quiere hacerse una idea más clara sobre el significado de estas dos palabras, continúa avanzando con los ejemplos. Espero que eso les sirvan para la próxima vez que le pregunte. ¿Entendió la diferencia entre yes, which is a response, and if, which is a condition, right? So I hope your response is a prominent yes. Okay. Okay, so we have yes, sí en respuestas afirmativas, if en condiciones de caso. If I were you, I would be different. Look at this. If I were you, I would be different. Yes, that is correct. Will you come tomorrow if I get earlier? Yes, I will come if you arrive earlier. If I went to Europe, would you go with me? Yes, I would go with you if I were not ill. May you leave the restaurant right now? Yes, I may leave the restaurant, but only if you pay. Might she come to the party? Yes, she might come. She might come to the party if her brother accompanies her. Okay. Note que a pesar de que el verbo to be en pasado para I es was, aquí se hace una excepción porque se habla de una situación hipotética o contrafáctica. Es una forma de expresar de que algo es irreal y por ende se emplea como I were. Esto en un término más técnico se expresa como el subjuntivo. Ya habíamos hablado un poco de eso. Okay. Si no lo entiende, vaya nuevamente a las lecciones anteriores. So, new words. So remember that if you have got up to this point, it's because of your deep discipline and your commitment, right? With your own person and with the course. So now it's really probable that when you read these words, you pronounce them better than when you started. So remember that the English language normally it has an accent at the beginning of the word. So that is why it's also important to follow up the rules that I have previously given you in this course. So when you pronounce them weekly, sorry, the words in capital letter, they will follow certain accent, right? With the um with the accentuation, right? So next, we're gonna see some words that will enrich your vocabulary significantly. So ready, we have ready, to be, been, long, tall, but, to see, seen, time, bathroom, now, order, in order that. Let's do again. Ready, to be, been, long, tall, but, to see, seen, time, bathroom, now, order, in order that. Okay, so there are other adjectives. Remember that we just write an adjective for many cases, singular, plural, the sex case, if it's a male, female, etc. No, so all, come on, let's do it. All, mixed, bright, secret, full, round, expert. Let's do it again, please. Let's do it again. So we have all, mixed, right, secret, full, round. This is expert. Okay. I was reading it. Okay, expert, no. So that would be everything for today. Remember the vocabulary, all, mixed, right, secret, full, round, expert. And see you in the next class. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson and see you in the next class. See you. So remember to subscribe to my channel. Okay? I don't know if you can easily see that. See you guys.